there's a lot of unexplored territory, really, in Villas to this day. And that's what you get when you have a bigger map, such as Villa. And it might just be enough. The map choice alone, again, a very uncommon map, might be enough to throw off Scylla's Guerrillas. But ultimately, he will ban out Thatcher first. Okay. Bob, what are your thoughts on that?
It's going to make Kaid and Bandit very powerful, or Mute should they want to go that direction. So it might be playing a little bit into the new meta that we're seeing in year 4. Jackal could be the next one to go, and it's not the most uncommon ban, but what screams to me about these two attacker bans is you didn't ban any of the really common guys. You didn't see Ying ban, you didn't see Glass ban, you didn't see any hard destructors or blitz or shields or whatever. All these operators you expect to see banned, at least one of them, neither of them went out. So there's going to be a lot of cheesy strategies available to the attackers, and that might be something that Soul's Guerrillas, in my opinion, the underdogs in this matchup, could pull out to their advantage. Mira, however, not going to follow the same trend. That's a very predictable ban coming out from Toon Squad. And the last one going to be Maestro, predictable.
So the only thing of note for me for these bans are the two, well, I shouldn't say only thing, but of note is Thatcher being banned is certainly interesting from SG right off the bat. And that obviously opens the door for Kaid, Bandit, and I think the response will be Maverick. Okay, Maverick. The only thing that kind of caught me off guard, though, as far as bans are concerned, is the attacking team in Toon Squad banning out Jackal. Now, obviously, this is their choice of map. They don't have an attack strategy set with a Jackal. Instead, they just bring the full force. They bring the entire house with this fight. We have Blackbeard, Vlad, and Maverick. And I'm excited to see what they do with them. I mean, we've seen Glitch and Chef, Chef especially, not Glass. We've seen it so many times at this point with so much success. But Scylla's Guerrillas, on the flip side of it, they have been more than prepared for something like this. I think Toon Squad have done this so many times. And interesting operator on offense. Loading new magazine! And just chosen to go with Glass, whatever it may be, something just incredibly strong. They go with it very, very hard.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about. You've got a lot of these really common band operators, these operators that a lot of teams don't like to play against. Guys like Blackbeard, guys like Kaz, that slipped through the ban phase just due to some, I don't know that weak is the right word, but some unusual attacker bans. So this is going to be used in full effect in Toon Squad. I think generally, however, this is a defensive-sided map. I think with these bans, you'll see the attackers get quite a few rounds as we continue into this matchup. For Soul's Guerrillas part in the bans, I think I kind of just wanted to make things difficult for one side. If you're the underdog coming into a matchup and you make one side a lot more favored than the other, it can be really advantage to you, whether you attack or defend that side first. It shouldn't make a difference, assuming that you, because you're going to play both sides, of course. So, I am deploying a drone. Regardless, I mean, a minute into this round already, not a ton of note has happened. Pretty slow so far from Toon Squad. They've been playing with their operators. You see Chef just playing with drones. Certainly a way to play. They've also opened up a little bit of that reinforced wall with you. So they're just getting a lot of little bit of holes, and it'll be Talon who gets the first kill onto the Mute, not loading, not going to survive. This is the first casualty in this matchup.
Mute not loading and not breathing. Talon very well to at least play with angles for now. Squad at the moment are showing exactly what they have prepared for, but no hard breacher for this site specifically. It'll funnel the attack a little bit more than I bet they're looking for. And when they're up against the smoke like they are at the moment, well, those choke points start to become literal choke points. I'm curious to see how this round goes, especially with a minute left, only a minute left. And not a lot of advantages, really, for Toon Squad to speak of.
Reloading last map, Maverick is really good on it. This is another one where he's really strong. Abinai, probably the best fragger on Skills of the world. He's going to take down Chef, and while it's going to be answered immediately by Glitch, shutting him down. So, Chef, the Glass going to be off the board, and another one being traded back and forth. Mex, Talon, Rainbow also going to get a kill. 3-on-1, all of a sudden, Mex with very little HP, left alone to try to clutch this out for the Guerrillas. And this is going to be a really really tough one. The fuser is going to get planted, which means he's going to have to come in for the retake. He still has that nitro cell in his pocket, but of course that's not likely to get all 3 players, should it even find one. Time is ticking down. He's going to have to come up to the top floor. There are 2 full health defenders, 1 half health defender ready to greet him as he makes his way up the stairs into the astronomy room. Hasn't found anybody yet. There's a lot of angles being held here. And, well, okay, gets 1. Can't get the second. Toon Squad take right away.
That was really well orchestrated by Toon Squad, despite what I was saying before with those choke points and basically funneling their attack through the bathroom, but then further on to astronomy and then the main door into statuary. But, I mean, it works out. They still played that very well. The push came through, and it was really on the coattails of Chef, because without Chef smoking his way into astronomy, I'm not sure they can displace the person behind desk as well as they currently did. Granted, Chef eventually fell, but pretty much anyone. You're up against the glass, you back the heck up when you start seeing those smokes come out. You pretty much not challenge whatsoever. I definitely got to give some credit to Toon Squad. I mean, they knew the pacing they wanted to do for that round, but things changed. Avian this time around, Echo being brought out, but Factor, he always is either Ash, IQ, that's pretty much it, and it's, I mean, I was talking about Ash Jaegermeat before, it's really just entry. Entry roamer, he's every Fragger's dream, he always plays those roles. It's, and I also said this before about Toon Squad, them as a team is, they perform so well together. The amount of team kills, and I don't mean actual kills, I mean assisted team kills, like hockey assists, they have it's remarkable. They assist each other so well, and we don't see team play as well as theirs in a lot of teams, really. They do it, they drone each other out, they'll open up angles for each other, and it's immediately peaked by another team member. It's nothing short of impressive. They operate as one unit better than so much. And you're gonna run out, that's probably the last location of bomb to see. Is a Blackbeard hanging around? Not loading. IGL will finish off Rainbow, so the team captains going back and forth in the exchange there. Bring this to a 4v3. Plenty of time left for both to make any kind of plays happen. But the longer the time ticks down, the more so those Guerrillas are probably happy about it. Again, with Yokai, Smokes, Spores, they have a lot of points on IO left.
So lots of time, of course, to work with for Toon Squad, and I wouldn't be too worried about the clock just yet. Certainly they are taking their time. That's all. You can see Factor down below, as you mentioned. Not playing the Ashe, but without the ACOG, probably not going to be playing too much more Ashe in the coming days. We'll see. I mean, in Pro League specifically, we've seen quite a bit of Ashe still. But haven't been super favored. Now the attack is starting to get a little bit closer. You can see Glass pushing forward. This is for the cover of Smoke. The defenders still waiting for this push to come in. You can see they've gotten a fair bit of ground, but other than those initial 2 frags in the first minute of the game, or in the first minute of the round, sorry, we haven't seen any more aggression coming out from either of these teams. Finally, it'll be the Glass of Chef who gets the first kill, immediately puts on the gas of Arabon again. Talon loading new magazine! Again, one of the best fraggers on Scylla's Guerrillas. Pushing forward in the staircase, a great look from Talon. He got the most kills in the last round, and he's putting up on the board for this round as well. Gonna leave it all on to the Echo to start things out in a 1-on-3. Scylla's Guerrillas not favored in this situation. However, up against the Blackbeard with the shield, not looking at the right angle. That's gonna be an easy kill for Glitch, and
so this is, and it goes back to the bans. Why I'm so curious as to the Thatcher ban, because we aren't seeing, you know, Premier Bandit. We're seeing obviously more Mute than Bandit, and that was what they had in mind. But it's, I don't know. It's just a little interesting to me to ban out Thatcher when you very well know that Mira will more than likely be banned. So it makes Aviator defense that much harder. It makes so many hard walls that much harder to defend, because if Maverick, once you lose control of Study, or once you lose control of Master, in the previous case for a statue, as we see now, it's devastating for you up it's either 2 or 3 kills through the whole season for himself. And I can't really see Thatcher being more powerful than Maverick. It's we're seeing.
Yeah, I think a part of it is also the fact that banning out that means that Factor has an even bigger reason to play IQ. You can't use those EMP grenades to destroy utility anymore. Well, it's going to happen quite a bit with the scoreboard, which we saw him doing quite a bit of down below. And it's obviously not a bad job. Going to frag up on IQ. So here's a run out from Mex, and again, he ran out last time. There's nobody playing this spawn point, so it's no harm, no foul, nothing comes of it. Not a big deal, but it shows that they're willing to take these aggressive plays. And I think I like that a lot from Scilla Guerrillas. This map is one of Toon Squad's best maps. They went 8-0 of it in the qualifiers, so that's 8 wins, 0 ties. You couldn't tie in the qualifiers, but 0 losses as well. And Scilla Guerrillas only played this map once, which they lost, and they played it in the 03 where the enemy team picked it. So it's odd that they went here. I wish we could talk a little bit more about the map bans because it does make sense. This map pool in general doesn't favor Scilla Guerrillas. It's a lot of much wider map pool, and so they have to really dictate the pace of how these map bans go. Albani's down, and he's able to pick himself back up. Oh, it's the dog. Ah, I see.
Well, quote-unquote reset. So,
yeah.
No resetting down, but not out. Pickups only bring you to 20 health now instead of 50. I personally love, but that puts an even bigger emphasis on the operator Doc, because Doc, when he hits someone down but not out, it'll bring him to 75 health. Still the same. That's what we just saw there. Now we're seeing the power of Nugs on that echo. All the information they have onto both the Buck and the Blackbeard. This is Toon Squad being a little bit slow, but last time they were this patient, this slow. It's a big dividend for them. This time we are seeing a south side push, and it worked that time. Blake will be protected by his shield to take out Max. Loading down below. Finish him off, however, for the refresh. Chef is taking very low in an engagement. Things are looking quite good for Scilla Guerrillas at the moment, as we saw one of those smokes being expanded. The last one, we hear it being used in the background. That is it for Chef, so nothing comes of it, and sure enough, Abunai will take out, large pushing hold.
Second floor.
For the members of will be shut down. Loading will stand up and knock him. Not grab one for himself as well. A wonderful round from Scilla Guerrillas. And you got to imagine if, so obviously the call for Toon Squad was, alright, we push master. They know what we're doing. They saw us push master last time. We're going to switch it up. We're going to push from the south side. We're going to take 90. We're going to establish this control, and we're going to try our best here. The disadvantage of that is pushing from the south side. There is one of 2 ways you can come in, and there is not a whole lot of flexibility. You don't have a room like astronomy to mix it up and perhaps reposition yourself. There, it's pretty fun. We saw the knack of it with Chef going down to the C4, because, I mean, all Abunai had to do was, as soon as he saw where that last smoke was placed, stuck up the C4 and finish things off there. We do see a little bit of adjustment, though, with a Montaigne being fixed. Now, additional smokes for Chef, and perhaps some C4 coverage, at least a little bit, to assist him. Is that regular C4 being thrown at by Abunai last round. If it's thrown at a shield, then Monty's not going to be quite good.
Yeah, no, I like the swap to the Montaigne actually quite a bit. At first it confused me a little bit, but then you look at the rest of the lineup, they've got so much fragging potential, right? They've got an IQ, they've got a Glad, they've got a Blackbeard, and then the Maverick has been the best fragger of the team. I mean, he's gotten more kills than anybody else. So you don't really need another person to go out and get the kills. I think bringing a Montaigne is going to be really interesting. Another interesting part about this round is, of course, they've chosen to defend on Living Room Library, probably the least popular site that we see on Villa. I don't remember the last time I saw this bomb site. I probably have, because generally the bomb sites are relatively balanced on this map, although the top floor is certainly quite a bit better. But it's strange, especially when there's still top 4 maps or bomb sets available. They could have gone back to Aviator Games, chose against it. They do have quite a strong roam presence. We just saw Max, here he is again, holding the angle, currently sitting in the classical hall. We'll see if he actually gets rewarded for this position. Probably will drone him out, but who knows? Playing on the Jaeger, many things are possible.
Max is a wild man of rotations, but yeah, as you said, he is properly thrown out. And I have to imagine they don't go Aviator. It's just how powerful that Maverick is when you don't have Mira to control stuff.
True.
So they probably just opted to go off. Max has more than done his job here. Looks like he'll continue to try to fight things out, but a minute and 30 in, and you've more than done your damage. He does hear the big guy of Rainbow walking his way down 90, and he'll smartly back up in response to that. He has done so well to waste. Keep in mind, roamers, you don't need all the frags in the world. Sometimes just wasting enough time, that is for the win for your team. We do see Talon opening up the castle barricade for Dadbo. Nothing to be seen at the moment, but have Era just behind the bookshelves, or half bookshelf, I guess. But also be a fair call to say the least. Abunai calling out for his teammate as to win that toxic fade. But we mentioned the time wasted by Abunai is paying dividends. I'm sorry, by Max is paying dividends. Abunai again, he hears the smokes, he just chucks it up, and Chef is the one taking damage. Era still just hanging tight, so those smokes won't be doing too much besides covering a plant now, and only one more for Rainbow. We'll potentially see this toxic fade cut off Rainbow's reinforcement. Era is called out. Era is pushed. Era is down. Rainbow with an excellent play to at least secure the entrance for his team, but the Yokais are doing so much work. A flurry of kills come out. We find ourselves in a 2v3. No, 2v2. With one down, it'll be all up to Rainbow to clutch this out for his team. He attempts to get the plant down, but 7-second plant is just so difficult at a time like this. We do, however, see the Yokai being thrown out late. Gotta imagine it's going to go up, or simply a rotation from Max Scilla's Guerrillas. Secure the round. Very well played from the Guerrillas.
Max with the 3K that round, and he's definitely the player I want to highlight. We talked about it at the start of the round, right, where he was able to waste quite a bit of time, and yes, roamers don't need to get kills, and so he was doing perfectly. He just wasted the time. So what's the response then to come out from Toon Squad? They just ignore him. They choose to push the site instead, and that's a good, I mean, it's always a trade-off, right? Because if you're having trouble pinching down that roamer, if he's doing a good job evading you, yeah, you can stop wasting your time and go for the bomb site, but then you always risk him coming back in, and you need to be able to watch your flank. And Max was able to rotate back around, get 2 kills, and then eventually there was only the Montaigne left, and well, Max is not going to lose that one fight when a Montaigne is stationary fight.
And that makes 2 rounds in a row for SC, and 2 pretty convincing. Yeah. They have positioned themselves very well every round. And admittedly, some of it comes from a lack of adaptation from Toon Squad. I mean, Abunai has gotten that C4 shot now twice. So I can't imagine we're going to see a full-fledged push like that from Chef when the smokes come out. I mean, you don't have the 6-pick, yes. Reveal phase it's tough to lose that 6-pick phase because it does tell you a little bit, all right, they have this many C4s, they have this denial, that. But as a team, you still, or just even as an individual, you still have to be adapting to how the defense is playing your certain pushes. I mean, a lot of people say, well, throw out a smoke, and the reason I thought they brought additional smokes was to bait out a C4, but instead, Chef walks in with the smoke and pays the price. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. Mech's the hero of that last round. Wasted so much time and picked up frags along with it. That was basically the dream for a roam.
So I want to highlight the operator changes coming out from Toon Squad. They've actually taken Chef off of the Glass. I think I agree with that. I mean, having the Glass is good. He's a very strong operator, but if you don't have a player who's on their game, it can actually be a pretty big detriment. Factor, however, not a big detriment. Don't even need the icon. He's actually using the G36C. So interesting adaptation. We have seen a little bit of this glitch. Gonna get a third kill for the round, and this has been a complete domination coming out from Toon Squad. All of a sudden, just a minute into this round, and we only have 2 anchors to sit back and try to stop 5 men pushing into the site. They've gotten it down, and they're actually gonna get a kill here too. Factor and Chef both falling, and not a lot of health on the Blackbeard means that this is still very, very possible. Of course, the smoke also pretty low. Now he's creeping around. Actually, if he peeks onto this window and somebody pops up, it might be a kill for him. But minute 30 in this round, and probably the attackers are going to slow things down. They started things off really strong, and playing those angles is always risky against the Maverick. Eravonia goes down, and Nugs quick to follow. Toon Squad dominating to take round 5.
And a lot of that was the operator changes they made. You mentioned it. Chef off Glass. It clearly was just, he wasn't in the right mindset, I guess, to be playing Glass at that time, because, I mean, we talked about it. He's walking in with the smokes. He's not being as effective as he would want to be, except aside from that first round, of course. But he's just, it didn't work out the way he was hoping. And what a switch to put. And you could tell Factor is basically just like wild coyote at that point, saying, "Please put me on Ash. Please put me on Ash. Like, just let me do what I do on Ash. Bring an ACOG and frag out." He picks up a double kill right off the bat, and he was not doing much before then. 2 of his 3 kills were the opening minute of that last round. So through 4 rounds, only 1 kill, and yeah, it was whoever made the call to switch it was an excellent call all around. And the weakness of Aviator, again, when you have Talon on Maverick, it's shown right then and there, and that's why that site that's why we aren't seeing successful defenses on that site. And Chef, again, on the IQ. I love the IQ being brought, especially with Echo available, so it makes a ton of sense there. Chef is a flexible player for them. Pay dividends, at least for that last round.
So the next round, round number 6, the last round before the half swap, and Scilla's Guerrillas trying to tie things up. Should they be successful? And they've actually already gotten a kill. Good God, Chef falls, and finally a run out works for Mex. This time he's promoted himself onto the dock, and Abanai finding another kill. The 2 big fraggers from Scilla's Guerrillas popping off with a kill shot apiece, and those are 2 really big players falling. Chef obviously was playing on the glass for a bit, maybe not super impactful there, but since the operator swap has been doing a great job, and I believe the last play, the Blackbeard, also was the top fragger for this team. So that's 2 really strong threats taken off the board. There goes another one. Rainbow going to be falling. Finally, Factor will get a return frag onto Mex, but with the way he was playing, with how aggressive he was, I don't think that's a huge loss for the defender. You expect, I mean, if you lose your dog, it's in the world, right? He's expecting to go forward, get kills, do aggressive things that, in this case, paid off really well for him. So a minute into this round, and already 4 kills have gone down. The attackers, Toon Squad, left with just 2 men to try to make it a favorable half. Minute 45, they're likely going to slow things down here as they take their time trying to find these final 4 kills.
With Chef off the board, and as you mentioned before, this yokai is going to be nothing but devastating for the remaining 2 members of Toon Squad. No matter how much you drawn out, there are so many crossfires you have to work your way through. Factor does have the advantage, or they both have the advantage, rather, in ACOGs. So if any overly aggressive peak does happen to occur, for instance, if loading peaks on out like he did there, he'll be punished. He won't.
Wow.
What a shot.
Wow.
Loading. Oh my goodness. If anything, he has an SSD right now. What a brilliant play. A trade will happen between Abanai and Factor as SG will take the round. A very good half from SG, and again, not on their map.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man, Pants. I looked at the 4 games we're casting tonight, and I saw this one, and I'm like, this is gonna be a roll. Toon Squad were looking, in my opinion, like much better team, especially when I saw the map. I mean, this should be their map. They haven't lost this at all throughout the entire qualifiers. These 2 teams actually played against each other in qualifier number 2 and qualifier number 3. Qualifier 2 was a 7-2 win for Toon Squad, and then qualifier 3 was a 7-1. I mean, they've now gotten the same amount of rounds that they got in 2 matches against Toon Squad throughout the whole qualifiers. So those Guerrillas have really picked it up here And if they manage to win this match, or even tie, I mean, tie maybe not, but if they can beat Toon Squad, I think that's a big statement. Because if people were watching those open qualifiers, they probably weren't counting Scilla Guerrillas as a team who were, you know, going to show up and win matches. In my personal power rankings, I have them dead last. I don't think that they're a team who are expected to come out and win a lot of these matches. But if they've shown anything throughout the closed qualifier, and now in the first first 6 rounds of this map, is they can pull off upsets. And honestly, I'm really excited to watch this for the second half and also for the rest of the season.
The only thing that I'm curious to watch throughout this game is Chef on Bandit if he continues to play Bandit. So Abunai found a lot of success on Bandit, but not in the form of his shock rise, not in the form of the actual operator's gadget. It was simply just he was landing his C4s and well positioned. And I'm curious if a mute is probably the better choice for defense, especially with Maverick on the board. And we might see a very similar thing happen here, at least as far as the results go for a site like this. But Abunai, well, there you go. Abunai takes out Talon as the smoke off the board. That is not what you want to lose whatsoever. And just got to imagine that was poor positioning from Talon. Well, good on Abunai to take advantage. That is, in fact, reinforced big guy, but he'll probably swing and try again. He is still whacking at it. And, I mean, I'll ask him about that strat, but something. But Nomad to watch the flanks, especially when you're up an operator. This could be absolutely devastating for the remaining members of Toons.
Yeah, we see the Maverick starting to do the work that he likes to do. A little hole down in the corner that he's opened up, and that's what Chef is really worried about. It's being opened up even more. Meanwhile, his teammates are dying. Factor goes down to Mex with 2 kills that are going to be really impactful so far in favor of Scilla Guerrillas. Just leaving 3 guys at the lab. You mentioned the Nomad. I'm not even sure that it's going to be the biggest deal because these guys aren't necessarily playing this so aggressively, right? Toon Squad. Okay, moving forward here. Chef actually going to take a little bit of damage.
I did not know that. I didn't know if 3 whacked the wall, it would automatically be destroyed once Maverick made it soft. I guess so.
I guess so.
Very much Scilla Guerrillas. Oh my goodness, I had no idea that occurred, but we are seeing a 3v3 with the plant going down, so essentially a 2v3. Oh, but he looks the wrong way and now takes advantage. It'll be a 2v3 in favor of the offense. So look to establish any sort of control. Once this plant goes down, though, has plenty that the defense will need. But Glitch falls as he's on his own in an attempt to deny the plant. Rainbow takes up 2. It is a 1v1, and it'll be Era to clutch this out for his team. Rainbow can just dance around as he has a free speed, and it can make sure that is what he'll be doing. But we're listening for the plant. Again, those 7-second plants are so tough to deal with. Yeah, he'll get the call that the plant is going down. The plant does. Oh, no!
What?
He doesn't get the kill initially, but he'll continue to fight it out. Just like Brad Pitt, and he'll go to get the diffuser, but it'll simply just a trick. Back and forth will be the decider. Quite obviously, Era drops the shield and smacks Rainbow in the face. Rainbow, unfortunately, was not able to clutch it. This is absolutely insane.
I can't even believe what that last 1v1 was. Oh my god. How does the Montaigne come out on top? Well, either way, he does it. He gets the job done. And Scilla Guerrillas find themselves up 4-3 versus Toon Squad. I mean, it was looking like a really good clutch opportunity, right? You're up against a 1v1 against a Montaigne. He has to go for the plant. You know he's planting. You've got the information. All you gotta do is run in and get the kill. Then when he didn't get it, when the Montaigne was able to stand up in time, I'm like, okay, who's gonna knife each other first, right? Like, that was so scary. And the Montaigne just backed off, put his shield up. And that was a smart play, of course, because you don't need to play aggressively in that situation, right? If you're Aravonia, you just gotta live. You've planted. You've done your job. Just survive and force the enemy player to try to go for that defuse and, well, hit him while he's down. Beautifully played, and they move on to round number 8 with a successful round after the half swap.
That was a heck of a round. I mean, granted, there was a 1v3. It should not have even come close. to that a 1v1, and Rainbow picked up a double, and that was just that had to be poor positioning. If you are Scylla's Guerrillas, that really should not be losing those 3v1s. But aside from that, the Nomad from Mex, rather ineffective. We didn't hear a single air jab go off. I'm not even sure if more than one got placed. So I'm curious to see what he can do here. Obviously, if you die, you can't. You understand that, everybody. But still, you got to imagine Rainbow dancing around so much would have been shot down just a little bit more if he was, I don't know, perhaps maybe thrown about in the air. Kitchen will be our defensive choice, and I like that a heck of a lot more because I'm honestly surprised Toon Squad chose to go with Aviator when we've seen the failures of Aviator defenses before. And they've had success pushing Aviator, and all Scylla's Guerrillas did was, well, the same thing.
Yeah, they're on
a
trophy
little bit
stats
different
right
with opening up the wall. That was a real. I learned something. I did not know you could pre-whack a reinforced wall and have it collapse once it turned soft for Maverick.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because you're getting rid of the soft part of the wall. Now all that's up there is the reinforcement. And so once the Maverick destroys the reinforcement, there's nothing left. So yeah, no, it's brilliant. It actually makes a difference which side of the wall you reinforce on then. Because you're not going to be able to destroy it from the side where it gets reinforced.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's something you have to think about going forward in the rest of this game. Nug's going to get the first kill, the opener on the Chef. Makes it a 5-on-4. That's going to be a Legion Dawn, and that's important because that's going to be a decrease in the amount of goo mines he's able to throw out. Obviously can't throw out any more now, but he's not going to be generating those either in the grave. An early opening kill for Scylla's Guerrillas, and they will continue to make their way forward. And usually when you see the attackers get an opening kill, they does speed them up a bit, but with Rainbow being able to chuck a nice C4, that will be able to take the life of not loading. And that's the Maverick on, an operator who we've seen do quite a bit of work so far in this matchup. Minutes go on that clock, and the rest of the attackers are going to make their way forward. The Montaigne looks like he's actually been down. Nope, my bad. He's just on like 1 HP. Nug's watching the staircase. He suddenly pushes him. He might be caught a little bit off guard. It's Rainbow on the other side of things, but he's getting pinged, so probably Nug's not going to get caught off guard. From the other angle, though, actually does take a bit of damage. I'm trying to push him out. It'll be him who gets the initial kill onto Abenine. Goes 15-1, killing Max. 4 versus 1 with the needles, and it's all the utility kills coming out for Toon Squad in the end. They bring us to a tie game once more.
And Toon Squad doing what I honestly expect of Toon Squad, where it's solid team play, solid coordination, and tremendous use of utility. And we saw every little bit of it right there. I mean, Rainbow got a C4 kill simply because he had his buddy and Valkyrie just calling out, hey, this is exactly where you need it. The ping goes out, Rainbow throws, connects with the kill. Wonderful team play from Toon Squad to bring this to 4-4, and this is more or less what a lot of people expected. Toon Squad, obviously a very popular team. They were riding the hot hand. They performed better than Scylla's Guerrillas in the qualifiers, but that's not to say Scylla's Guerrillas didn't put up a fight when they needed to. You mentioned it before when they played each other, and yeah, I feel like this is going just about how we all expected. I will say, though, I'm a little bit surprised that we are going to see Aviator yet again. I can only imagine a study push will be called, as there is no reason to do anything else. It's worked for every attacker throughout this map, pushing into stop.
Yeah, that's a good point. We actually have not seen any attackers win this bomb site, which is a little bit strange. I think generally it is defensive sided, but again, that might be part of the bans, right? A lot of those pesky attackers made it through the banning phase, so I think that's a big reason why we're seeing this map go a lot more even. We saw the 3-3 half, of course, and now we're at a 4-4. Is partly because of the fact that defensive bans went pretty standard, and a lot of the good defenders were taken off of the board, but a lot of attackers were still left available, so that is going to give the advantage over to the guys who started in blue. And, well, now we're going to see round number 9, another attempt to defend Aviator games. As you mentioned, not a lot of success so far, but as these attackers start to get forward, we'll see if they can replicate the success that was seen in rounds past.
This time we do see a little bit of adjustment yet again. Double C4 play from below from Toon Squad, and a lot of that is to counteract this study push that we're seeing yet again from Scylla's Guerrillas. But when you have a Nomad it really changes up your ability to push into any of it. I mean, look at it. We see Mex and Rainbow right next to each other. Then Mex will cover his flank with that air jab, and it forces the Pulse and the Valkyrie to back off. They can't go through that anymore. It's a free kill for Mex. They have to rotate all the way around. One air jab has forced a complete rotation from Toon Squad and essentially completely threw off their defending game plan, which again, C4s from below.
Yeah, totally. Because what are you gonna do? Are you gonna walk in the air jab? Well, you're dead, right? You get thrown to your bum. The enemy team can just rush forward and you will go down. So again, we see Scilla's Guerrillas doing the same thing, pre-opening the wall with the soft destruction, and then being able to use the Maverick to open it up. Oh, that's a bit of a misplay by Avenai, not ready for the aggression from Factor. Times it perfectly and gets an easy headshot on a player who's not really paying attention. Mex will equalize though, as Chef does fall to a headshot from him. Puts us into a 4-on-4 with just under a minute to go in this round. No doubt the push will be coming out very shortly. The attackers maybe need to refigure out what their game plan is after being caught off guard by by Toon Squad, sorry. And so you can see them still playing around in this hallway. Factor is going to start to aggress back to his bomb site, back to where the attackers were pushing forward. 30 seconds, flashbangs are coming out, and the attackers have the Montaigne in the bomb site. Still outside as well, trying to deal with this. Ooh, and that's going to be great teamwork coming out from Scilla's Guerrillas to be able to shut that down. Factor immediately retrades onto Erebonia though, so it still keeps it even numbers. We do see the Pulse downed onto the ground with very little HP. It's going to leave it just to 2 players. Mex is going to get a kill, but finished off is not loading. Player who's down, so it's not quite a big deal, but Factor finishes off with another headshot, putting it all onto Nugs on the IQ. We get the 1 kill into the 1-1. 4 seconds to go. We need to get in immediately or just survive. That's all that Echo needs to do, but rushing forward with the pistol. No! Ooh. Not enough time. Toon Squad win it. Oh, by the skin of their teeth.
And, I mean, when you pick Aviator, especially with Thatcher ban, with Mira ban, and Maverick available, you're basically looking for gunfights and just it's a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath, and every time we have seen exactly that. Everybody falling every which way, whether it's 1v1 or 2v1 at the end. It's been so competitive just simply because as a defense you are basically asking or saying that, yeah, we know we're going to get into a lot of gunfights right now, and we just have to be ready for it. And give credit where credit's due. Factor did so well to pick up the double kill for his team and bring that within reason, as it left Nugs all on an island for himself. Scilla's Guerrillas had a lot of things going for them. They just could not quite put it all together. And a lot of that was you lose Abenai so early to a pretty mindless push, because, I mean, they clearly don't have 90 droned out well enough, and it eventually bit him in the butt. I mean, when you don't drone out 90 that well, don't be surprised if someone peeks from it. And that was just pretty unfortunate from him. He's played so well throughout this game, and that is just not the play. You can't succeed without him up and assisting the rest of your team.
Move on to round number 10 now. Already 30 seconds in. Not a lot has gone by, but we've seen quite a bit of differences in terms of operators from both teams. Next, moving over to the Twitch, which is not an operator you see too often these days. Mira, of course, being banned out, but there's other reasons to bring her. The F2, obviously, beast gun, and maybe with Ash gone, with Ash losing her ACOG on her primary weapon. This is a little bit of that adaptation, and of course also the utility not too bad either. You can take down the mute jammers. Okay, otherwise it's not done that the Twitch drone can do, but yeah, with the hard, just got that information. So he'll be going around trying to people cams, whatever it may be. And we'll see, a minute into this round already, and the attacking operators have gotten into the building. They've gotten quite a bit of ground. They haven't cleared all the roamers on the top floor, which is something that they might be worried about, especially as Erebonia takes a little bit of damage. Talon specifically up here going to be a bit of a menace as he's playing that dock. He's able to heal himself back up. He's got the ACOG, and we saw before, if a team lets a roamer just live from up top, that can have devastating consequences later into the round. when we saw, I believe it was Mex come around and get a 3K after a beautiful roam. Factor will throw out the C4, doesn't quite get it, but he turns around and sees somebody anyways, loses the gunfight though, and he will fall. Rainbow also gonna get down, but Glitch coming out with a 2K, immediately traded out by Mex, 2-on-2, here we go. 1 minute still left in this round. The attackers don't need to rush things, but yet here they are aggressing forward. What a flick, but still gonna lose it. Aravonia barely losing that gunfight. The Chef took quite a few bullets to be able to find that. Oh, and Mex in a perfect position. An easy kill. They had no idea where he's at. It's a 1-on-1. Chef versus Mex. Coming forward, still 50 seconds to go in this round, man pants.
And we've seen so many 1v1s. It's just back and forth, but Mex is being spam spotted. Like absolute mad, and Chef will just pop up and down, trying to use the EMP to best of his advantage. He'll get right up onto Chef, but Chef will clutch it again for his team. Toon Squad have won 3 1v1s and back-to-back rounds. Toon Squad are just barely. This could have gone either way. Both teams are. Every single round for the past 3 rounds has turned into an absolute bloodbath. Both teams cannot quite seem to figure out the positioning they need in order for their own team to succeed, and I doubt it's fully that all of these teams are positioning so beautifully that the refrags just have to come out. It's just so bizarre to me. Everything I'm seeing right now is very bizarre because, as I mentioned it, all of a sudden things just pick off. All of a sudden, we're looking at an absolute frag fiesta. And that is not exactly where you want to be right now if you're Scylla's Guerrillas, because it is a risk. It's a risk to say, hey, we're just going to take it. We're not going to, taking our time, we're not going to displace talent. We're just going to shoot our shot. And that's risky. That's very, very risky.
I'm just gonna send it.
To just say, and it's not working out well for them right now. They are looking at well, they have to win 2 rounds in a row to even hope to secure any kind of point from here, but it's going to be an uphill battle. We do see Mex, their top frag at the moment on Blitz. That is certainly going to be something to look out for as the game progresses. There is so much utility, though, to answer a Blitz. You have C4s, you have Smoke, you have Legion, you have Yokais. Mex might be proven ineffective by the teamwork and utility of Toon Squad.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. Even the frag grenades coming out, or the impact, sorry, it's going to be really difficult for Mex to try to do something. I like that they're changing something up. I mean, obviously they find themselves here up against match point. They can no longer get that W going only for the tie, but clearly their normal strategies since swapping over to attack haven't been working all that well. So they're going to try to switch things here. They're going to put Mex onto the Blitz. And as you mentioned, a lot of utility to counter it, but at least it's something different. He hasn't gotten a whole lot of work done just yet. He's made his way inside of the main hallway. And, well, there's still all 4 charges left on that flash shield. We'll see if he can find anybody to rush them down. I'm imagining at this point defenders have cued into the fact that there is a Blitz. It's not the most subtle of operators. So he's probably going to get spotted out. Here's a great opportunity for not loading, but a little bit slow on that trigger finger. Great job by Rainbow with the shotgun. Peeks the hole and wins the battle versus the Maverick on his home turf. We'll see it now turn into a 5-on-4 already. The attackers starting to lose things here. Oh, and out with the pistol. Mex, great shot on the Factor. It wasn't a headshot, but it looked like it. So 4-on-4, even things back out. It's still very doable. The C4 almost gets it, but a little bit too slow. And with the shield right in front of you, yeah, that's not going to go well for you at all. It'll be Nugs who gets up the kill after Mex flashed the enemy teammate. So coming around, Aravonia and Abanai both going to get a kill apiece. At least all on the Talon. He finds a shield. Oh, no. That's a bad time. Yeah, I don't think so, Talon.
What a wonderful idea to bring Blitz, especially putting Mex on Blitz. He did exactly what you want from your Blitz. When you're looking for those roamers, just close your eyes and make sure their eyes can't open and just go for it. That was it. It's not to say Scylla's Guerrillas just, let Mex do all the work. Very good teamwork to be following the Blitz the entire time. When we saw Nugs and Abanai, both, as well as Era, all pick up kills on the back of that Blitz's pressure. It was very impressive teamwork right there from Scylla's Guerrillas. And No surprise we're seeing the blitz yet again. And with the 6 phase non-existent, things like that, blitz can't really catch the team off guard. I mean, I just passed this and
Camera feed up.
Yeah, Nexus 14 is actually pretty
something
insane.
so devastating about the sound of glitching. It makes my body go up. I hate it.
It's not pleasant
Activate
to be
work
as a
on
defender,
drag.
just to
You
know,
guys can
especially
handle
in that situation when you're already in, what was it, a 1-on-4, 1-on-3, whatever it was, to turn the corner and all of a sudden it's blitz. That's the last thing you want to see if you turn the corner and you're in a clutch situation. Completely blind, nothing to do. We move on to matchup for round number 12, which means this is the last round that we're going to see. Is it going to be a win from Toon Squad, or Souls Guerrillas going to pull out the tie? Certainly, I think a tie would be a victory, at least a moral one for Souls Guerrillas, even if it's not reflected in the scoreline. Toon Squad, they wanted to show up in this matchup and prove that they were a top team, that people were maybe underestimating them a little bit, but to be getting slapped around like this a little bit. Some of these rounds by Souls Guerrillas, it is a tad bit worrying for the future in the rest of the season. We'll see though, one more round to try to clutch it out for Toon Squad.
They're more than well prepared for a blitz this time, and certainly not going to be isolating themselves. We see them traveling in pairs as they are just going to power. Your flag that operator. Some ADS is attempting to be burned by Blackbeard, excuse me. Next, looking to storm his way up a strong D-Chef making the call out. You see the rotation made by Rainbow. The Rainbow can only run away, but no Factor! From what's that, on the same level, but Factor regardless. Wonderful C4 play will completely get rid of Max. Things are looking excellent for the Toon Squad. A lot riding on.
Yes, that's the main key player down. And oh, Albanai caught way off guard. Trying to deal with some barbed wire, and he will get punished hard for it. Can't get the finish off. Oh, out the shotgun. Rainbow might go in. Oh, what? Oh, with the shotgun, he's gonna get another kill. That was the down player the second time. Finally, not loading will take him out. But oh my god, the flick over to the Blackbeard on the window. Factor gets another kill onto not loading. There's only one player left alive to force it into a tie. It's Nugs up against Toon Squad to deny them this victory. A minute to do so. But man, you cannot favor his chances here in the 1-on-4. He'll start to make his way up the red stage. They've got the diffuser that the defense do in their possession. You can see Factor just watching it in the master bedroom, and Nugs, oh boy, this is such a tough spot for him to be in. So much pressure on his shoulders right now to lose the first game of the season, but he'll start off pretty strong. A nice headshot onto Chef will be a good way to start this. You can see the gas canisters by the smoke being thrown out. Talon wants to make sure that he can use these as late as possible to continue to deny the opportunity of Nugs to get this clutch. I'm not on his favor. Certainly only 20 seconds to go, and he's wasted a lot of it. He hasn't died yet because of how careful he's been, but he needs to get aggressive. 15 seconds. He's got 3 kills to find. Doesn't even have the diffuser, so it's not like he can go for a plant. 10 seconds. Nugs, he's on very little HP at this point. That's going to be really tough. Blitz will close it out. Toon Squad take the match 7-5.